so I see quite a lot of pirate radio content on the internet these days, which is good to show all the stuff from the sort of late 80s all through the 90s, when pirate radio was kind of the golden age or the golden era of pirate radio. But when you're running pirate radio stations, you've got to be quite resourceful, okay, yeah? Now, a lot of the time, obviously, it'd be nice just to go up on a block, throw your rig up there, put your aerial up, and then you're off, which was the case a lot of the time, okay, if you had rooftop access. However, sometimes when you was doing radio, you had to be a little bit more resourceful than this. Now, one time when we was running Flight FM, tail end of the 90s, and we needed a block. Now, we used to come from Sutton quite a lot, and there's a road called Throwley Way in the back of Sutton, and on it, we used to be a big, massive derelict building called Surrey House. Now, Surrey House is now called Aspects, which is like, it's all been done out and it's really nice flats and apartments. But back then, it was a derelict building. It had been empty for years. So one of the things what we used to have to do was basically we used this derelict building to transmit from. Now, it was on a hill, so it was right at the top of Sutton Hill, and it was probably about 16 floors high, and then you had the bit on top. Now, this building had been gutted. It used to be office blocks. It's now flats, okay, yeah? So it was empty. There was no power in there. There was nothing in there. It was a shell, okay, yeah? So we used to set up in this, and what we used to have to do was we would put our rig and our aerial on the rooftop, but then we would have to run power cables, because don't forget you need electricity for the transmitters, yeah? So we'd run a power cable all the way from the top floor of Surrey House, yeah? So like 16 floors up, and then we would run it, what we would call basically the shit run. It was an old fire escape, and it was horrible. It was full of pigeons and pigeon crap and all sorts. And we would run cables down this building. And then at the bottom of the building was a nightclub called Chicago's Nightclub, okay, yeah? And on top of Chicago's, there were generators, fans. So they were great big fans, okay, yeah? And on these fans, what you could do is you could nick your electricity off these fans. So we would run the power cable all the way from our transmitter, all the way down the building, inside the shit run, and then we would run it across the floor, and then we would run it out onto the rooftop of Chicago's, and then we would basically tap our electricity off the fans. So that is just one way that we used to get on, because, you know, when you're doing radio, you just got to be resourceful and think of ways that you could get your station on, yeah? So that was it, yeah? It was Surrey House. It's now called Aspects on Throwley Way. It was a derelict building. We used to run a power cable down 16 floors, and then we used to nick the electricity off fans. We also done things with cell sites and trees and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, just so that you know some of the things that we used to get up to when we used to try and get our radio station on. Leave us a comment if you kind of used to do anything, if you was involved in pirate radio and there's anything you used to do to get your station on, yeah?